first of many fall looks to come. So I love this whole cranberry eye look. It's one of my favorite eye looks for the fall. I love a cranberry eye. It's just stunning. This is the first of many to come, and today I used more high-ended products, but the next fall look that I upload will be of drugstore products. Recently, a couple days ago, I uploaded a video doing a full face of drugstore products, and many of you guys loved that I was using more drugstore products. So I just did a huge order on Ulta, ordering several products, and I'm very excited about all of that stuff to come in, and I get to play with more drugstore products. But today we're gonna start with this look. I love a cranberry eye, and I used the Naked Cherry palette from Urban Decay. This is a new palette that they recently launched. I haven't had a chance to review it yet, so I thought, you know what? These shades in this palette are just perfect for that fall cranberry eye. So that is the reason why I chose to use this palette. Not necessarily because I think this is the perfect fall palette, but it had really good cranberry shades for the cranberry eye that I was wanting to create. If you guys have been waiting for me to review this palette, today is the day. I am actually going to do a full makeup look, and we're going to get into the review and swatch of the palette in a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoy this type of video. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video. First, I'm going to use, of course, my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. The only thing I have on right now is just my regular daily moisturizer. And right now I'm on a retinol cream, so my skin is crazy dry. Like, it is so dry, and I have to exfoliate it like all the time because my skin's starting to peel. If you guys are familiar with retinol creams, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, I love retinol creams, but I definitely do not love the process. I need like all the moisture I can get. I have a couple of dry patches, like these are 2 dry patches right here. I have a couple right here. So now I'm gonna apply my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is my favorite face product of all time. I just ordered a few products from Beautylish. Actually, I ordered like, I don't know, like it's like $300 worth of stuff, but I absolutely love her brand. And so what I like to do with this product is just basically put it all over the face. I used to just use my hands to do this, but I find it to be a little bit messy. So, I mean, you can just already see the glow that that gave my skin. Recently, as you all know, I fell madly in love with the Smashbox Studio Skin 15-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation, but this started to break me out. So this is a foundation that I can't wear, you know, for several days in a row. Like, I can't wear it on a daily. Just because this breaks me out does not mean it's gonna break you guys out. That's just my skin in general, because I do suffer from adult acne. I have to watch, you know, products, certain products, wearing them on a daily basis. Because I am doing the retinol treatments, I need a little bit more coverage, but I don't want my foundation to be kind of thick and gross. When you're using a retinol cream, you have to be careful as to what foundations you're wearing on your skin, because it can get like cakey and built up in certain areas. So the foundation that I reach for the most during this time is the Lancome Ultra Wear. I don't know how you pronounce that, the Teint Idole, or I don't know how you pronounce that like French word, but this is a 24-hour wearing foundation. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't wear it for 24 hours, but it lasts somewhat like this Smashbox one, but I love the way this makes my skin look. Now, this is in the shade 360 BISQUE, which is neutral. And it's a little bit too light for me right now. You know, right now I still have a little bit of my tan left from the summer. I'm also using a fake tan. So I've had this one in my collection, and this shade matches me, so I just ordered a new bottle. It should be here in a couple days. But this is in the shade 420. So this is a neutral, but this is just a little bit darker. So I'm actually going to use that product today. I mean, it blends so smooth, and it's such a good foundation, you guys. Like, I love this foundation. I love it. Love it. And it's one of my favorite foundations for those days where I need that fuller coverage, but I need my foundation to last. And this is kind of the perfect like fall and winter foundation for me. A little bit of this foundation goes a really long way. Okay, now I'm going to kind of smooth it out with my sponge. This is the Morphe Highlighting and Contour Sponge. What I like about this foundation is it doesn't look like you have foundation on the skin. This is kind of a thinner formula, and so it's not super thick, so you can't see it sitting on the skin. The combination I've been really liking, I know this is probably just super extra because that's just me. I've been putting my Tarte Creaseless Concealer like right up next to the lash line. And then I've been loving this from Cover FX. This is the Power Play Concealer. I've been really liking this, but I don't like it up against those wrinkles, but I love the way it looks right around here. This looks so pretty over the skin. So now I'm just gonna kind of blend this out and just kind of blend those two together. But I love the Tarte Creaseless Concealer up against my creases. As far as my brows, of course, I usually do this off camera because it does take me a really long time. What I use for my brows is I use this Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Brows, and I just comb this through my brows. This really helps to kind of give the volume, the thickness, make them a little bit fuller, and it also creates a little bit of a hair stroke, which I really like. And then I take this from MAC. This is the Shape and Shade Brow Tint, and I kind of just go up and start creating little hair-like strokes. I am not the best at my brows, you guys. I am still learning. I'm gonna go off camera, finish my brows, and I'll be right back. I was just catching up on my Housewives of Orange County. I love Housewives. I am a reality TV junkie. But the thing is, I never get to watch it. By the way, I'm using my KKW Beauty Concealer in shade 6 as my eyelid primer. I love that show, but I never get to watch it like on my TV. So thankfully, I downloaded the Bravo app, and then I use my DirecTV account to sign in and watch it. But I'm obsessed with all Housewives. Married to Medicine. I love Married to Medicine. Yeah, I am a reality TV junkie. Now, once in a while, I will grab this brush. This isn't my favorite type of brush to apply bronzer, but I've been trying to kind of get into it a little bit more. During the summer, it can just be very glowy and very pretty. During the fall and winter, you really want that, like, those sharp lines and that sharp contour. So I'm gonna take this brush from Sigma. This is the large powder brush. This is the F30. And I'm gonna go into my Hourglass Ambient Bronze Light bronzer and just start kind of cutting up this cheek. I love this bronzer. I just can't wear anything else. Now I'm gonna go put some up here on my forehead. Now for the blush, I'm gonna take this from Jouer. This is the Adore Blush Duo, and I'm taking my Morphe E4 and I'm gonna go down into both shades. It's one of my favorite blushes, and it goes in and out of stock all the time. If you guys have been wanting to pick this up, the next time it comes back into stock, Jeffree Star has a discount code with Jouer, and all of the proceeds go to charity. And I think it's 15% off, not because I'm a Jeffree Star fan, but because all of the proceeds that go to charity. So that's a really nice thing. So now I'm gonna go into my Ambient Lighting palette. I mean, this is so repetitive, you guys. Sometimes I feel like I'm just repeating the exact same thing. Like, once I find those products that I love, I don't mix it up a lot. So I'm gonna use my Luxie 514 brush, which is this is the best brush to use this product with because of the wispiness of it. I love this brush from Luxie. Luxie does have really good brushes. You can really place the product all over the face versus in one direct area with this brush. Now, as far as highlighter today, I want to go into my Becca. This is the Champagne Pop. I just recently pulled this out and I really love this. I forgot how much I love it. So I'm going to take my Sigma tapered highlighter brush. This is the F35. I'm just going to place this right here. I forgot just how much I love Becca's highlighters. Like, they have really good highlighters. The way that they apply on the skin, oh, it's just amazing. I'm gonna spray my face. First, I know I'm gonna be a little bit obsessive. So first I'm gonna spray the Hydra Enhancer from Elsie. Oh, so good. My skin is so dry right now. It's driving me crazy. And then I'm gonna take this one from Too Faced. This is the Do You Fresh Glow Setting Spray. I think for today today's look, I'm going to go into my Naked Cherry palette. I have not used this palette yet, and I thought, you know what, instead of doing like a dedicated video to it, I'm actually just going to use these shades to create a really pretty fall look. I've been really curious about this palette, and actually it's darker in real life than it looks like on Instagram and stuff. This is what the shades look like, and honestly, I don't know that it's coming across the camera even as dark as it is. Like, these shades are pretty dark. Not these shades, but these shades are pretty dark shades. Now, I do love my Naked Heat palette. It is one of my go-to palettes for the fall, but I will say with Urban Decay palettes, they're always a hit and miss with me. Some palettes just do not work and are a super bust. The Naked Heat palette happens to be one that really, really works good for me. This is what the actual brush looks like. So it's a little bit different than some of the other brushes that come in the Naked palette. So this is the Naked Heat palette, and this is what that brush looks like. You know, this is a little bit longer than this. And, you know, this is like fat and square, kind of like to pack color on. This is probably perfect for the inner corner highlight or doing, you know, maybe a lower lash line. I'm going to first go into the shade Juicy. It's a really pretty kind of peachy pink shade. And I am going to apply this up here in my crease, just kind of building it as like a transition shade. Now, I haven't watched a lot of videos on this, but I did watch Jackie Aina's video because I can't help it. I can't miss a video of hers. I love Jackie Aina. So I did watch her video on this palette, and she did like this palette. So I'm kind of excited and hoping that it works good. Just gonna add a little bit more here. This shade is very pigmented and actually blends out quite nicely. Now I'm gonna go into the shade Devilish, which I agree with Jackie on this. I am not a fan of the name Devilish. I'm just not. I think she was calling it deviled eggs, which is super funny. But this is that shade. It's called Devilish. And I also agree with Jackie. There's not one shade in this palette named after a cherry, which is so weird to me. Like, weird. So I'm going to go into that shade Devilish. And I've got a little bit here on the brush. And I'm just going to start popping this underneath that transition shade. And this brush isn't bad. I'm really able to get in there and place this color down, and the bristles are blending it out really nicely. And for being a new brush, it's nice. I don't typically like new brushes. I like brushes after they've been used and washed a few times. That's when I really start to love a brush. So for this being like a brand new brush, this is not bad. Okay, those two are blending beautifully. Like, this palette is blending nicely. Now, before I move on, I'm going to go under the lash line. So I'm going to go into that first shade Juicy, and I'm taking this part of the brush. And I'm going to go up underneath, but I kind of want this look to be kind of blown out. So I am going to kind of bring that out a little bit farther than I normally do. Now I'm going to go into Devilish, same part of the brush, and I'm going to dust this over Juicy. I'm going to go into the shade Privacy, which is this one. It's the darkest shade in the palette on the very end. And I'm just going to start kind of building this up on this outer corner and then bringing it into the crease. I want to build up some of that intensity. I'm going to bring Privacy along the bottom as well. So I'm taking this side of the brush and I'm going to bring it down around here, but kind of keeping it towards the outer corner. So I've wiped off this side of the brush. I'm going to go back into that first shade, Juicy, and I'm going to pop this back over top because, you know, like I always say, when you go in with those darker colors, you'll lose that first transition shade. So I always like to go into that first transition shade and kind of bring it back to life. For all over the lid, I was thinking of Young Love, which is this really pretty purple shade, or Ambition. I think I'm going to use Ambition. It's not Ambition, it's Ambitious. This is Ambitious, I'm sorry. I think I'm going to use Ambitious all over the lid. So I'm going to take my felt tip applicator and I'm going to go down into that shade, Ambitious. The names of this palette does not match the whole cherry theme. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me at all whatsoever. And I am just going to start packing this on my lid. And I'm going to kind of bring it up into the crease a little bit. I was able to do that with little fallout, like just maybe a teeny bit, but not much. Typical Urban Decay shimmer shade. It's very, very pretty. All right, I'm going to build up the intensity on the outer corner. So I'm going to go back into Privacy, and I am basically just going to pack this on right out here. And I'm just kind of doing that like packing motion, and I'm going to sweep it inside just to kind of give a little bit more definition. Oh, I'm liking this fall vibe. These are like really pretty cranberry-ish, purplish shades. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing with Privacy right here on this lower lash line. I'm gonna bring it up close to the lash line on this outer corner. These shades blend out so pretty, like really pretty. Other than the shade names, this palette is freaking amazing. Typically when I have a eye look like this, I love the inner corner and the brow bone to pop. I'm gonna go into my KKW Beauty highlighter palette, and I'm gonna go into this top shade right here, pack my brush with it, spray it. Oh, that's so pretty. Same thing for the brow bone. I'm going to take this brush. By the way, I don't know if I told you, the brush I used for the inner corner was the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH39 brush. I really love this brush. This one is what she created for the brow bone. This is the JH42 brush, and I'm going to go back into that shade again here in the highlighter palette. Spray it. So I'm going to finish this eye, throw some lashes on, and I will be right back. I'm back, and my lashes are on. These are the House of Lashes in Iconic Lights. Now, some would say with this dark, like raspberry-ish, cranberry-ish eye, they would say, you know what? Do a nude lip. Well, I'm not all about a nude lip with a dark eye. I'm about a dark eye and a dark lip. I thought I had a couple of options. What the hell happened to my lip liner? I am a hot mess today. It's a shit show and a half up in here. Let's try this lip liner. This is in the shade Poison. Okay, so I have a couple of lip options here. This one I think is so pretty. This is from ColourPop. This is the I Love Sarah IE collaboration. This is an ultra matte lip in the shade Soft 2. Oh, that's pretty. I think I might be going with that one. And then I have this one from Ulta Beauty. This is the matte metallic liquid lipsticks, and I actually really like these. This is in the shade Sharp Edges. I got some good options here. And then the last one I found is from ColourPop and the collaboration with Shayla, and this is in the shade Come On See Us. Oh my gosh, those are some good shades for this eye look. I think I gotta go with this one from ColourPop though, the matte lip. As soon as I laid it down, I fell in love with it. Like I said, this is a ultra matte lip, and it matches perfectly with this lip liner, you guys. Like, these two were made for each other. This is so pretty. I love that dark matte lip with that dark eye. I don't know. I know some people would say, no, do a nude lip all day. Not for fall. This is beautiful. Okay, I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts on the palette, since it was kind of a first impressions of that palette. So let me say this. I really like the brush. The brush is amazing, and I actually like it more than some of the other brushes that has come in the other Naked palettes. So this is a nice brush, and I like this palette. If you guys like these shades, you will like this palette. Do I think that this palette is unique? Not really. The only reason to buy this palette is if you love those shades. If you don't particularly, like, if you like a few shades in the palette, I don't necessarily think you need to buy the entire palette just for a few shades. I do, however, think if you like these shades, you will love the palette. I think you will love the formula. They blend out beautifully on the eye. I had no problems with this palette, none whatsoever. This is a nice palette. I really like the brush. And in fact, I like the brush so much that I think I'm going to be using the brush in more tutorials, because I mean, I'm actually going to take it out of the palette and leave it here on my counter because I really like the brush. You know, like I said, Urban Decay is always a hit and miss with me, but this one isn't. This one's nice. I'm going to go ahead and insert a clip right here of the swatches so you guys can see what the palette looks like swatched. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to come right back here on Friday because I'm going to be doing my Foundation Friday video, which I've been working on all week. So I'm very excited about that. Also, I will be popping up an extra video this week. I'm not sure what day, whether it will be Thursday, an extra video for Saturday or Sunday, but several of you guys have been requesting a video on how I do the curls. In some of my previous videos, I had kind of a tighter curl. So many of you guys have been asking for me to show you guys how I did that. So that will come up sometime this week. I just don't know exactly what day. Make sure you guys have turned on your notifications so that you guys are notified when I upload, because I'm not exactly sure what day I will be putting that video up. Thank you guys so much again. I hope you guys have a fantastic week filled with love, happiness, and joy. I love you guys so much. Bye.